Alexis Robertson here, Foley's Director of Diversity and Inclusion, here to provide some tips to law students going into interviews for summer associate positions. And just know, in terms of my background, I've been a diversity and inclusion professional for a number of years, but in a former life, I was a practicing attorney as well as a legal recruiter. So I've seen OCI from a number of sides. And I have 5 tips for you. And I think these are a little bit different than the common interview tips you are normally going to get. So the first one is practice the answer to tell me about yourself. And when I say practice, I mean say it out loud. The first time you respond to that question should not be when you are looking at the screen or in the room for your interviews. I guarantee you will be asked the question. I guarantee you'll be asked the question often. You should have an answer for it. It's a 30 to 60 second response. It's concise, and largely it's what you're going to be asked while your interviewer reviews your resume as they try to catch up on things. Bonus points, but also very important. Practice it in Zoom or in Microsoft Teams or in Google Hangouts or whatever you're using. There's no reason to have to do it for the first time. And I would say practice it, record it, play it back. Do you like it? Just something to consider. Same thing for go ahead and jump into these virtual platforms you're going to be using. Check your background, make sure you know how it works so that isn't something that makes you nervous the day of. By the way, if you have tech issues, jump on the firm's website, find the attorney you're talking to, and call them. That is always an option. Anyway, 2, very quick point, but ask thoughtful questions. It's fine to ask questions about the structure of the summer program or how pro bono works at that law firm, but ask questions about the people interviewing you. Ask them what has caused them to enjoy their time at their firm. Why was it that they joined their firm? Ask them about their practice, why they chose it, what's keeping them busy. If you're able to engage the interviewer, that can just show that you are personable, that you are someone they may want to work with down the line. But if you don't, that's okay too. You'll be fine. Also, just realize that interviews are a form of advocacy. They sound like conversations, but this is your opportunity to paint a picture with Foley and Lardner or whatever firm you're interviewing with as to exactly who you are. The interviewer you are meeting usually is a full-time attorney. They do not specialize in interviewing law school associates. They are not guaranteed to ask you the question that will allow you to really paint a picture of yourself. So if they don't, those last few minutes of the interview say, I see our interview's almost coming to an end, and I also wanted to share with you XYZ. Very, very important, because ultimately we want to know who you are. We'd love to know how you differ from the other, hundreds of law students who are also your same year at your school, and from the tens of people also from your same state. So really, really tell us. And also, as Director of Diversity and Inclusion, I'm frequently asked, as a diverse attorney, how do I share that story? Just weave it in. It's a part of who you are. If being first generation, if being racially or ethnically diverse, or being a woman, or whatever experience you've had in life, no matter of your demographics, if that has shaped who you are, feel free to talk about it. Chances are your interviewer will be happy that you raised it and may engage you in that discussion as well. Finally, one of the most important things for interviewing, talk in sound bites. Please don't allow nerves to get the best of you and for you to just talk and talk and talk and hope that the interviewer will interrupt you with their next question. Understand that as humans, we don't like to interrupt each other. So if you are just one long run-on sentence, taking up 12 minutes of the interview to respond to tell me about yourself, chances are your interviewer will let you do that, but I would caution you not to. So answer the question, be thoughtful, engage the question, but at some point, please stop talking. You only have 20 or 30 minutes together. Generally, let the interviewer drive that interview. And also, if you'd like to hear more about tips for on-campus interviews or virtual interviews or just the recruiting process in general, check out a recent episode of The Path and the Practice. I have Foley's Director of Recruiting as well as the Chair of our National Recruiting Committee on the show talking about this and more.